For a foreigner, being in Germany means getting used to a whole new set of rules and regulations, and one of those is the law that says you must at all times have a passport or an identity card. So does that mean that you have to take your passport with you everywhere you go? No, not usually is the answer to that. You do have to have ID, but you don't have to have it with you at all times, although there are some situations where it is highly recommended. There are two government-issued documents that prove a German's identity: a passport and a personal identification card. Every German citizen over the age of 16 must have at least one of these, and it must be valid. Obviously. A lot of people are under the impression that you must carry ID with you at all times. That was the case in former East Germany and also in West Berlin, because that's what the Allies stipulated. But in fact now you can usually leave it at home. It's enough that you possess it. There are times when you do have to carry valid ID. If you're a tourist or a visitor to Germany, this will most likely be when you're crossing a border to or from another country. Even if you're moving within the Schengen area, where routine border controls have been abolished. Apart from anything else, temporary border controls can be put in place at any time. This happened, for example, during the refugee crisis. Any German who at the time was in Austria without any ID could potentially have had problems returning home. Some of these border controls remain in effect to this day. As I make this video, Germany and 4 other countries have been given permission to keep the border controls in place until at least the middle of May. Also, in some countries it is a legal requirement to carry ID with you at all times, for example, the Netherlands and Italy. In other countries, like France or Switzerland, hotels will routinely ask to see your passport when you check in. It's also suggested that you should have ID with you when driving, especially if the photo on your driving license is badly out of date. If you're resident in Germany, there are some industries where workers have to have their ID with them. These are things like, for example, the construction and hotel industries, which often employ people illegally in order to evade taxes. You'll also need ID with you if you're legally carrying a weapon. Of course, if you're caught illegally carrying a weapon, then you're already in deep trouble. In any situation where the police really want to see your official ID and you don't have it with you, they can take you to the station and keep you there while they try to establish exactly who you are. Or they can take you to wherever you say you live and wait for you to produce your ID. For this reason, lawyers will suggest that if you're planning to go on a demonstration, you should have ID with you. Of course, you may actually want to waste police time by getting yourself arrested without valid ID, but I don't think I would recommend it. There may be times when you find yourself without ID. For example, my only ID is my British passport, and there is no such thing as a British ID card. When I renew my passport, I have to send the old passport with the application form, leaving me technically in breach of German law. One way around this is to first take your passport to the local administrative offices and ask them to make you a certified copy of it. That will cost a few euros, but it might be worth it because the fine for not possessing valid ID is 5,000 euros. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not send me a postcard? Here's the address. Or visit Rewboss.com, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my blog.